Hi everybody, very welcome to Mentour and yet another video podcast. As always, I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. Today on the podcast, I have a special treat for you guys. We're going to be talking about the new aviation headset that has just been released by Bose Aviation, the Proflight Aviation headset. I'm going to give you my review of it, tell you a little bit about, is it comfortable to wear? How is the noise reduction? How does it compare to the Bose A20? So stay tuned. Right guys, so first of all, full disclosure, the only reason that I've been able to test fly with this headset for about 3 weeks now is because Bose Aviation is an official sponsor of the Mentour pilot channel. So this video is sponsored by them, but I am still going to tell you exactly what I think about this product, because even though I'm sponsored by them, it's very easy to talk about this product. Okay, so Bose Aviation have been working on a new headset for professional pilots during the last decade. Okay, they saw that there was a little bit of a gap in the market where their A20 headset, when it was originally designed, was really designed for general aviation and quite noisy environments, while modern jet airliners are less noisy and maybe doesn't need the full kind of force of the noise reduction available in the A20. Now the A20 is a really good headset, but they thought that there is a market for slightly lighter and more adapted aviation headsets for professional pilots. Now when they went out and asked professional pilots what is the most important thing you want from a headset, number 1, 2 and 3 on that list was it has to be comfortable. And the reason for that is that when we fly professionally, we might sit, like I did yesterday, for 12 hours with a headset on the head. Okay, and that means that any little way that it's not comfortable is going to be very, very noticeable. So that's what the Bose engineers had in mind when they started working on the Proflight headset. Okay, you would have already seen the Proflight headset from the press release, from you know, pictures starting to spread on the internet and stuff. So you know what it's about. So we're just going to cut straight to it. Okay. First of all, the thing that you notice is that the carrying case is significantly smaller than the one for the A20. Okay. That is good because it means that it takes up less space in your flight bag, which is something that I personally appreciate. Okay. Now, if you want to see a complete unboxing of the Proflight headset, then click this link below. It goes to the official Bose unboxing of this, and it will show you all of the little features, you know, all the little buttons, all of the things it can do. I will not go into that today. I will go into how I'm actually using it and how I've been using it for the last 3 weeks. So, here it is, okay? The headset, the first thing that you will see is that it is tiny, okay? And the second thing you will probably see is that it had these in-ear earbuds. All right, so we're going to talk about them in a second. Now, Bose have chosen to have this kind of head strap, and that is to provide stability for the headset. They got feedback from the pilot body that you do need a little bit of stability. You can't just use the in-ear earbuds. And this is a good thing, okay? The clamping force is very, very low. And the main thing, the most important thing, guys, is that this thing weighs only about 135 grams. That's just a little more than a third of what an A20 weighs. And that means that after 12 hours of wearing it, you won't have any neck pain, which you can get with heavier headsets. Even if you don't feel heavy to the touch of it, when you've been wearing it for 12 hours, you will definitely notice it. So, headband, and they have these little adjustable pads that will sit just above your ear, okay, and that's also to provide stability. You can fold them in, and that's just to be able to store them inside of the carrying case. How does it feel to have it on the head? Well, the fact is that I've been using it for 3 weeks now, and you very, very quickly get used to it. Okay, I can hardly feel it now, right? 135 grams is almost nothing. And when you put it on like this, adjust it to your head size, and then you have these ones. Either, if you're not using them, you can just hang them on the back of the of the pads, which is something I do during the turnaround actually. What I tend to do is I keep one of them off and I keep the other one in with a feature called tap through, which I'm going to tell about in a second. Okay, so wearing this weighs absolutely nothing. You don't notice it. All right, the next thing is of course the in-ear design of the headset, which is something that is completely new when it comes to aviation headset. But the thing is, it is not completely new when it comes to usage, because Bose Aviation is part of the Bose group, and the Bose group incorporates things like consumer headsets. And they have sold millions of these in-ear design headsets for people listening to music when they're flying or they're in airports or they're out running. Okay, these earbuds have about 30 different patents to them. Okay, they are designed to not go deep into the ear canal, but basically just sit on the outside of the ear canal, just kind of sealing it so that there's no noise coming in, but not far enough for it to start to feel uncomfortable. Now, I have very sensitive ears. As you can see, they're quite big. Okay, I have sensitive ears. So when I first saw them, I was a little bit skeptical, to be honest. But the thing is, once you started to use this, you basically forget about them. Okay, after maybe 10 hours of use, I felt myself that I've kind of just moved a millimeter or so to the left, but that's a huge difference from what I used to do with my other headset, which is constantly move it around because it's clamping on the side of the head. This thing is not, okay? You do notice that you have an in-ear headset on, there's no question about it, but it is not uncomfortable, it's actually very comfortable. And the more I use it, the more days I'm using it, the more comfortable it becomes. So to apply it is also extremely simple. Like, you basically just put it in like this. That's the time it takes. All right. The first few times you kind of fiddle around a little bit with it, but you very quickly become proficient with putting it in and out. Now, downsides of it, your voice feels a bit weird when you're wearing in-ear pieces, is what I've noticed. So what I tend to do on the ground is that I take one of the earbuds out, normally the right one, and I hang it behind, and then I keep the other one in, and I use something called the tap-through feature. So the tap-through feature is made because Bose was listening to pilots, and they've noticed that pilots takes the headset off when they want to talk to, for example, a cabin crew member coming in, right? So what this does is that when you tap the side of the earbud, it opens up, it reduces the noise reduction on that ear, and it actually becomes a little bit like a hearing aid. So you can easily hear what you're saying without taking it out. This is perfect when you're in flight. Okay, so when I'm in flight, I use the tap-through feature when the cabin crew is coming in. Right. On the ground, I take the earbud out, and then I use tap-through on the other ear. That way, you don't get that weird feeling of having noise reduction on one ear but not the other. But you can still hear everything around you, including air traffic control if they're trying to reach you. So when I'm on the ground, I've found myself doing that, and then I'm sitting and I'm listening to what's going on. And when I'm in the flight and I want to talk to someone, I have both of the earbuds on, and I just tap on the side, the cabin crew is coming in, and I speak to them like that. So this is a really nice new feature. Another feature that Bose have with this headset is that they have different levels of noise reduction. So to answer the question about noise reduction, yes, of course they have noise reduction. Okay, it's not a passive headset, it's an active headset, and it has 3 different levels: high, medium, and low. Right, that's because different aircraft types might require different amount of noise reduction. So for example, the Boeing 737 needs quite high noise reduction because it's very noisy. So the high setting here is not as high as you have on the Bose A20. But that's actually a good thing, because the A20 reduces the noise so much that it basically feels like you're sitting inside of the cave. You can't really hear the engines revving, but you can with these ones. So these ones are perfectly adapted for an aircraft like the 737. Now the medium setting would probably be used for something like a 787 or an Airbus 350, which is a very quiet aircraft. And the low setting is, it really just turns it into a hearing aid, to be perfectly honest. So the low setting would be used, for example, when you're down on the ground, if you don't want to take away one of the earbuds, or you don't want to use the tap-through. If you put it to low, you basically hear everything that's going on around you without removing the earbuds. Okay. Other things with this, it does come with a Bluetooth capability. Now I'm not allowed to use that in my airline, so I'm not using it. My headset comes with the two pin adapter. It can come with other adapters as well. You just have to mention that when you're ordering it. The headset is available in the stores now from May. The price is $995 or 995 euros or equivalent, which makes it slightly cheaper than the A20 headset. What else do I want to talk about? Yes, here, another innovation that comes with this headset is that this boom mic can, without tooling, be moved from one ear to the other, okay? So you can just push a button here, remove it, push a button on this little thing here, move that over, and basically the whole process takes maybe a minute to do. So if you, like me, is working from both the left side and the right side of the aircraft, that's perfect, because it doesn't mean that you need to sit with a little screwdriver and fix something, okay? Apart from that, what else is new with this headset? Well, the thing that I've noticed, and I've got a lot of questions about, is this wire. Okay, so the wire doesn't really bother me that much, okay, because you can hang this up just like you do with other headset cables, and you have this little clamp that you can kind of arrange to make sure that the cable is not in the way. And one thing that is really important, other headsets that I've been using have a tendency to get interference with electrical sources in the cockpit. So for example, the window heat has pulsating electrical pulses going through it, and that can cause a very annoying kind of beep sound going through. Now this does not have that. I've tried this even close to the window or the circuit breaker panel. It is kind of military grade insulated, so you don't get an interference. Right guys, another thing that is really important for you to know is that this headset, along with all the other Bose Aviation headsets, are TSO approved. Okay, that means that they're both EASA and FAA TSO approved, and that's an approval that's given to headsets that apply to a certain aviation standard. Okay, and this is a requirement in order to use headset in commercial aviation. So make sure that whatever headset you are using is actually TSO approved, because it is likely that both FAA and EASA will eventually be clamping down on operators and their pilots to make sure that they are using approved products in their aircrafts. One thing that I want to mention as well is that it is battery driven. Okay, the Proflight uses 2 AA batteries. And I have been using this for 3 weeks continuously now. I have changed batteries once. So that would give it a battery life about 1.5 to 2 weeks of continuous flying, which is quite good. If you're flying in an aircraft that actually have power from the headset connector, then you don't need batteries, okay? That will feed the power directly to the headset. Would I recommend it then? Yes. Okay. There's things like here, things that's really important for me personally, is that I'm wearing glasses, and since this doesn't have any ear cups, it doesn't clamp down on the glasses on the side, which makes it much more comfortable. And you will find that as well if you're using sunglasses, which basically all of us are when we're flying. If you're flying a slightly noisier aircraft, like for example a turboprop of any sort, then it's likely that the Bose A20 is still the headset for you to use, because the ANR is a little bit more, it basically makes it more quiet. But if you're flying a jet like a 737 or an Airbus 320 or anything bigger than that, pressurized jets like basically, then I think that the Proflight headset is probably the headset that you should be using. So if you have any questions about this, guys, send it in below, or go into the Mentour Aviation app. You can either just tag @Mentour, that will send me a message immediately and I will answer it if I'm in the chat, or you can use the submit feedback and that will send me an email. So if you haven't got the app, get it now. It's completely free to download. There are some links to it here in the description of the video. Just click that, get the app, go in and ask whatever questions you have about this or anything else. Have an absolutely fantastic day wherever you are, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.